Hello, folks. We are back with another edition of the DCHL Outsider podcast right here. We got a whole slate of games on tap, so we're going to jump right into it and give you an update of this week's scores. So, I'm going to start off MDHL right now. We had the newly formed Gwendolyn Guardians against the recently promoted Wu-Tang Clan here. It's going to be an interesting game. Going to kind of be hard to figure out what's going on right now. This is really unpredictable, but the Guardians came out really strong. 5 goals in the first, and ended up being an 8-4 game. Wu-Tang was missing the goalie Kevin Shea, missing a couple players, so it's really hard to necessarily gauge what we can expect from Wu-Tang in D2. But the Guardians look strong. They had 2 goals from Melissa Karp. They had a lot of players with one. So the goal scoring was really distributed. This wasn't one player just kind of doing their thing. So it was, it's definitely something that the team should feel really confident about right there. If you got everyone scoring goals, it means more of a team game. You're not relying on one star, and it'll go a long way. Wu Tang looked good in the loss too, so it's going to be tricky right now. I think Wu Tang should be fine in D2. Guardian should be fine in D2. It's hard to tell because they're played each other and then playing the already formed, experienced teams. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But it's a big win for Guardians, and we will see if this week brings them some new exciting wins. Hashtag Guardians of the DCHL MDHL Galaxy. Such a bad hashtag, but people loved it. I'm not bitter. We had TNT Crease Crashers matchup of the MDHL semifinal for D1. Crease Crashers were up 2-0 goals by Rachel and Doug, but TNT scored 8 unanswered right there. That was a rough one. So don't really know what to say in that. It was Crease Crashers came out strong. I think they had some hiccups and just goals, goals, goals. Amit had 4, and Aaron Brown subbing had 2. So that was rough. If you can't stop Amit, he will toast you like he did right there. So that was a rough game for Crease Crashers. On the plus side, Crashers had 3 against TNT, and TNT only let in 4 goals last season in the regular season or first round playoffs. So that's it's going to be interesting to see how TNT, I guess, how they play, how they respond to that great season that turned out to a championship. Bit of a letdown, so we'll see what happens there if they're going to be playing more defensive minded, if they're going to open up and score some more goals. So big win for them. Crease Crashers, really really good first period, except for the final 2 minutes, and then rough second. So they'll respond and recover. Fingers crossed. Barbarians low to the rink. This was a great game right there. 3-3 tie. Barbarians get 2 early on. Andrew Marshall, Josh Lerner. 2 assists from Wendy on that. And then Lords of the Rink respond. Austin scores, Curtis gets a pair, but Wendy comes up big in the end and scores as well. She has a goal and 2 assists for her. That's pretty strong, right? That's actually a great game. I mean, if you're out there and responsible for all 3 goals, that's pretty sweet. So, big game. Barbarian looking strong. Had some hiccups along the way in the second period, but they were able to recover. 0 Pucks Given, the newly formed rec team, is have an awesome orange jersey. So shout outs to the jersey. Logo's pretty cool, but it's hard to get past the awesome orange of the jersey. They played the Rogue One-Timers, ended up falling 3-2. 0 Pucks Given get goals by Submit and Lawrence Neubauer. But One-Timers get goals from Lou Fontek, Joe Horde, and Derek Halloran. So this was definitely this is a good game for a new team. One-Timers look good. Definitely something they were looking for right there. They had Ben Berger in net. So Ben is the new goalie for the Rogue One-Timers. So it was a strong first appearance by him. And 0 Pucks Given have a lot of potential, and we'll see what they can do as soon as they develop that chemistry that is going to be so desperately needed. In the final game of the night, we had the Islanders against the Gwendolyn Black Knights. Stat sheet is definitely wrong because the Islanders did not have 111 shots in the first period. We can potentially fix that. But Matthew DeGanzik scored early for the Black Knights unassisted. But Tom responded, tying up for the Islanders. But Black Knights get goals from Matt DeGanzik and Matt Kelly, making a nice 3-1 game right there. It was a close one, and Black Knights looking strong as always, and Islanders. Some of the games are on, some of the games are off. I think they're struggling a little bit with the passing and the chemistry this week, but that's something they can fix. It's a long season, and we'll see if they can respond and recover. So DCHL opening week, very interesting. We'll see what next week brings with some more teams getting their first game, the ones that were on buys. So we'll see how things go for them. We had DCHL action. Excuse me, I'm tired. Woo-wee. Early morning. The sun might be up and out, but I am not. So we had Slashing Pumpkins Hockey Dead in the first game of the DCHL Sunday right there. Doug Simonos starts out scoring on assist, but Hockey Dead bring it. They get goals by Sumit, Justin, Derek, and Brennan, making it a 4-2 game. Seth scored in the loss as well. But Pumpkins played really, really strong last week. Hockey Dead playing strong this week. This rec division is getting better and better, and I'm excited to see what happens. First Ladies do not have a rec team anymore. Move up to 2 D4 teams, and Gwendolyn does not have a rec. Excuse me, Gwendolyn does have a rec team. They moved their previous rec team up and are building out a new team. So this is going to be this is wide open division right there. I think Lucky Sevens might actually be the favorite in this division, but it's hard to call. So we will see. Good win for Hockey Dead, and congratulations on I don't know. Congratulations all around for everyone. Lucky Sevens and Sharks here. Speaking of the quote-unquote favored Lucky Sevens right there, they ran into a monster in the Street Sharks this week. Tom scored early for Lucky Sevens. It was a great shot. Beat Ryan up over the shoulder. But Sharks in the second period they were circling, got 3 goals. John Nuno unassisted. Anthony scored, and then John Nuno again unassisted. Hashtag numero Nuno. Sam scored a power play goal for the Lucky Sevens, but Lawrence, he scored Sunday, scored Wednesday. Good week for him. Scores to ice it up for the Street Sharks, making it 4-2. This was a game. Lucky Sevens only had 10 shots on net. Sharks played amazing defense, great team game. Took all the players from the Lucky Sevens and really isolated them, and did not allow them to do that give and go passing, the triangle runs that they do. So that was actually a great game by the Street Sharks. We understand Sal was missing, the mastermind behind the Lucky Sevens. So I don't know. We'll see if the Lucky Sevens can bring it next week. But like I said, I think the Sharks are a great team, and they really showed that they can really put a stranglehold on what I think might be the favorite in the rec division. So rec as always will be exciting. There's going to be a lot of contenders. We'll see what happens. Gwendolyn Gladiators versus High Rollers. This is some D4 action right now. It's D4, one of the best divisions in the league. As always, this game was not as close as one would have hoped. Gladiators come out strong early on. Nick Franzen scores 1-0 after the first, but Gladiators, I don't know what happened. High Rollers get 4 in the second, 2 in the third, and make it 6-1. So this came out of nowhere. High Rollers get 2 goals by Alex Bureau, 2 goals by Dimitri, and Brian Billig and Brian Bowen get 1 each. So that was a game where High Rollers they did not start out fast, but they really brought in the second and third periods right now. So High Rollers might actually be the favorite in this D4 division. So we've got some more action right here. We've got Gwendolyn Blue Knights, one of the upgraded teams, against the Flying Hellfish, the rebranded Shangri-La team. And this is an instant classic of a game. Sharon scores early for the Hellfish. Love calling it the Hellfish. Austin Keach scores assist from Mandy. Mandy scores for Blue Knights. Man, she played great today. All day. Mandy was playing amazing. But then Sepp scores a power play goal unassisted for the Hellfish from the point in the second, tied up at 2-2. And speak of the Hellfish Devil right here, Sepp again unassisted power play. That's two unassisted power play goals for the Flying Hellfish to make it a 3-2 game. Sepp had a great game on defense. Sharon played great. Hellfish are definitely looking good. I think it's going to be an interesting season. I think they're a strong team. And they can put their pieces together, have the consistency showing up. The addition of Chris Zupa, Claudine, it's going to go a long way. So this team is one you can watch out for. Blue Knights had a great game, but a couple penalties did them in. That will happen from time to time. Crazy Eights against First Ladies here. This was an Aaron Brown show kind of game. Dominant in D4, very strong in D3. Aaron had 4 goals, and Alec had an unassisted shorthanded goal. So this was a First Ladies game. A little rough for them. I know that some of the players were out, so they were using some subs right there. But Crazy Eights definitely they showed why they are a top team in this D4 division. Aaron played strong. I mean, it's what you're gonna get. He's a top D4 player, and there's gonna be some games where he just takes over and owns, and this happened to be one of them. Excuse me, Goonies Zambronis. This was a crazy game. So Zambroni started out strong. Trevor scored, but Goonies get goals by Chris Winkler, Casey Hansen, making it 2-1. Andrew Marshall ties it up, making it 2-2 for Zambronis, but Austin scores a pair to make it 4-2. This was a game, and Goonies played a pretty good game, but there were some hiccups for Zambronis. A couple defensive turnovers cost them some goals, and some of the forwards had some quality chances they just could not finish. So this was a game that really could have went either way. I know some people think the Goonies are a top team, undefeatable, this and that, and that's you can think that, but I feel like Zambronis could have won this game if they had tightened up their defense a little bit, and if if they didn't hit a post or two, if they it was a winnable game. It was some of the bounces didn't go their way, but that being said, they had a chance there. So we had First Ladies Jacqueline against Stick Magnets right here. Andy Gladfelter, beardless Andy Gladfelter, heartbreaking. Let out the scoring for Stick Magnets unassisted, making it 1-0. Submit scores to make it 2-0 right here. Big, this looks like it's going to be a blowout, but First Ladies were able to reel it in. Kristen Murphy gets a goal. Emily Ox-Magnolia with the assist. Wendy gets a goal in the second, and then Rachel gets a power play goal in the third to make it 3-2 First Ladies right here. They're able to weather the storm and come out with a win here. This is a game where First Ladies they struggled early on, but they didn't lose their cool. They calmed it down. They did fine, and at the end of the day, if you're able to be down a couple goals and not get flustered, and you can stay focused, you can come back and win games, and they did. They played a really strong game, and at the end of the day, it was definitely a big statement win for First Ladies. So I'm glad to see it, and we'll see if First Ladies are able to succeed with the 2-team split. Excuse me. So beyond that, we had some. We're up to the higher divisions right now. We had Ball Hogs against Young Bloods here. The Ball Hogs right now. Shocking. I'm not going to say shocking, but they are, in fact, 3-0, leading the D2 division right now. So they're able to win 3-0 against Youngbloods here. Nick Mosier scores, Owen Evans scores, Nick Mosier scores again. Empty netter, but it's still a good goal, still counts, and it's hard to hit the empty net. I don't know why, but Mel played great for Ball Hogs. Kevin had a strong game for Youngbloods. This was again a game of bounces. There was a crossbar and 2 posts hit for against Ball Hogs. Mel got a little lucky from the medal, but at the end of the day, this is definitely going. I think D2 could actually be one of the best divisions moving forward right now. The addition of Ball Hogs has definitely gone a long way. It's exciting to see what's going to happen with the new team and see how they match up with others. But Youngbloods, that was a game of bounces, and that's all right. So we had Arabian Nights IPA. This was a crazy, crazy game right here. IPA scores first goal, Brendan McLean, and Arabian Nights had some major, major penalty troubles right here. They had a early 5-on-3 for full 2 minutes. I gifted IPA, and IPA struggled to get the ball in the zone. I feel like their zone entry was definitely rough. We'll talk about that later. And they were able to cash in on that 5-on-3. Gwendolyn comes out strong, gets 3 goals to make it 3-1. But then again, the penalties keep creeping in. Is another 5-on-3 for IPA. Could not score again. Zone entry really got him again. Arabian Nights get another goal. John Santan responds for IPA, but then another goal for Arabian Nights. More penalties, and then a couple more goals by Arabian Nights. 7 goals, 7 penalties for Gwendolyn. This game was a 7-2 game, but I feel like the momentum would have definitely shifted had IPA cashed on some of the power plays early on. But I mean, that's something that can. That's something that can happen. If you're on a team that you're not familiar with, if you're maybe not too familiar with how to handle a power play or handle a 5-on-3, but it's definitely something we'll talk about, and hopefully we'll give people some information on maybe some strategies on how to handle that. We had Gorilla Gang Yager Bombs. Gorilla Gang come out strong, 2-0. Shane Riz scores, Manny scores. Steinitz cuts the lead in half for Yager Bombs. Manny scores again, but at the end of the second, Yager Bombs really started bringing it. They get goals. JP, Sean Miller, Steinitz, David Boyer, and JP Sean score again. So it went from a 3-1 game to a 7-3 game. Josh Lerner scores towards the end, but Yager Bombs able to hold on. I believe that's their first win of the season. I'm gonna have to double check on that one. Yes, that was the first win for Yager Bombs this season. Gorilla Gang winless in 3. So, 2 of the top teams last season, Gorilla Gang won the championship. Cannot get a win right now, and Yager Bombs 1 win in 3 games. Rough for them, but it's a long season. You don't know what's going to happen, and it was the holidays, so some players are going to be out traveling, and I wouldn't proclaim either of those teams dead yet, but I would maybe be hitting that panic button right now. So we had game of the DCHL game of the night. We had Lizards Puck University here. This was an instant classic right now. We had John Krause playing net for Puck U. Not only plays defense, but with a potential injury, we're not sure, to Jason Stelter. Krause jumped in and played a really strong game here. Lizards get a goal by Austin early on, making it 1-0. Sean Miller lets a rocket go to make it 1-1. Sean scores again, making it 2-1. Bill Weeks ties it at 2, but late Josh Lerner ends up getting a crazy goal at the end, making it 3-2. Josh Lerner from Steinitz. So great game for Josh. Goal and 2 assists. Sean Miller 2 goals. But this was an instant classic game here. This was very strong, clean game, no penalties, no issues, and you can't ask for more than a 1-goal game. So that was pretty sweet. Lizard looks strong. Puck U looks strong. If D1 can stay like this, and you can get the quality games out of Lizards and Puck U like that, I think that Puck Buddies, aren't going to have a smooth sailing to get their back-to-back cups. Speaking of Puck Buddies here, Puck Buddies full squad against Mercury Rising, full squad right here. Buddies Mercury Rising played a 0-0 game at the end of the first, but we get some penalties in the third for Mercury Rising, which definitely might have thrown them out of sync. Puck Buddies get goals by Sam Keeler and then Jake Berube to make it 2-0. Mercury Rising get an extra attacker goal by Lindsay Bittler, picked one out of the air. That was a sweet goal. Refs had to double check because it was good. It was an awesome goal. It was it was close to the crossbar, let's just say, but it was a sweet hands play, making it 2-1, and that's how it ended right there. Mercury Rising able to keep it close with the full roster Puck Buddies, and yeah, they outshot Puck Buddies too, 29-24. So this was a game where both teams played great, and Puck Buddies had some new additions to the roster. I mean, they added Felice, who was there. They had Jake, they had Gramlich. They had their squad, and Mercury Rising was able to hold with them, and that game could have easily gone the other way. So I think if you're Mercury Rising, you're feeling very confident about this. So let us see if D1 is going to be as exciting as we expect moving forward right now. I know we're going to see Puck Buddies, Puck You at the top, but Mercury Rising and Mercury Rising can hang. We'll see how the White Walkers hashtag the Goldsteins play moving forward, and Lizards and Redcoats. We're not sure they can. They're very Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. They can bring it one week and then struggle the next, but we will see what happens. And that was a short thing. We don't have a guest this week, so I'm going to talk about zone entry. Okay, so when it comes to zone entry, I feel like just from my experience and what I see reffing, especially we're going to take about this through the lens of a power play. So on a power play, too often I see teams carry the ball, defender will carry it, and then just look to dump it into the corner. I think that's the absolute worst thing you can do. Defenders on a penalty kill generally play a couple steps back, and so when that ball gets dumped in, they're already there. And they get it, it's going up and over, and I generally assume that anytime that ball is dumped down the ice, you're going to kill 20 seconds off a power play. So if from my experience, if again, we can discuss this or look at some tape or break it down. But if you want to set up in a power play, I think the most important thing is for a defender to have the confidence to carry the ball up into the zone. When they approach the blue line, if there's not a defender on them, all they need to do is push that ball over the blue line, gain the zone, pull it back, protect it, and give your wingers and centers some space and some time to actually get in the zone. Because if they're already in the zone, then you can dump it and win a battle. But it's a lot of times it's hard to outrun a defender who's got 2-3 steps on you. So if you can do that, that's great. Or you can go with a full head of steam, run to the blue line, flick the ball on yourself, and since you're moving forward with some speed and their defenders got their feet planted, you can do that and probably control the zone. Another option is to carry the ball. If someone moves on you, there's going to be 2 players open, so then you can just do a quick little pass to a person, and then you've created, a 4-on-3 or something like that. But I'm a huge advocate of not dumping the ball in the zone because that's a hard race to win. And if you're able to set up in the zone, especially on a 5-on-3, but even on a 5-on-4, all you got to do is move the ball around to your open players, and then you'll be fine. But again, getting the ball in the zone is the most important thing, and so many teams struggle with that. If you watch, watch a couple of games, you'll see some power plays that really, they get no shots on net. There's some confusion going on, and if you want to see strong teams with it, a lot of times you'll have a center curl back and get the ball at center ice and kind of control that, or you'll have a defender just carry it in and do that. I think a lot of defenders are too afraid to do so. But when you're on a power play, it's really important to get that help from your defense because that's a player that's generally going to be uncovered. A lot of times the forwards will they'll stack up, they'll line up against the blue line, towing the line, waiting to get waiting for that ball to get into the zone so they can do something, and there'll be defenders kind of covering them, kind of playing the ball. So it's important to make sure that you get a little bit of help from your defenders carrying that ball in. So the teams that tend to score, have good zone time, will do that. And just up in the ball, and it's hard to win that race. Even if you're faster than defender, a lot of times some of them have a foot or 2, 3, 4, 5 feet on you head start. So on a 5-on-3 especially, if it's a 5-on-3 and that person dumps the ball, and I would never let them play on the power play again. But that is just my thought. So thank you for listening to the DCHL Outsider podcast. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube. We'll try to stream some more games. It's been hectic. Major injury for Suds last week, so we're a little short-staffed on a lot of things. We only streamed 1 game, so we are hoping to do more in the future for DCHL. We're going to try to keep up some MDHL streams and see what we can do. So if you're interested in streaming, let us know. We have the cameras always ready, cell phone. So if you're interested, let us know, and we will put you in a position to do so. If you're interested in being a guest on a podcast, let us know. I think we're going to get Derek a holler next week, so I'm going to put him on the spot. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you next week.